Hey, welcome back in Occupy Democrats on a glorious Saturday. And oh, what a tangled web Donald and Melania weave when she practices to deceive. I'm going to show that story to you in just a few seconds because you got to see what just happened to Melania based on the Epstein file drop yesterday. Very key and important point, because if you'd like to see it lead to both of them being out of the White House, subscribe to the channel. But understand that there's a big question over whether or not Melania got introduced to Epstein, knew Epstein, all that stuff. And this is what happens when you're sue happy like the Trumps are. Because if you sue somebody, yeah, it's going to require deposition and discovery, and that can be a real problem. And if you wonder what I mean by that, take a quick listen to this sound right here in terms of Hunter Biden. This.
Fox News reported that a lawyer for the First Lady sent Biden a letter with a deadline of August 7th to retract his statements. The letter calls Biden's comments false, defamatory, disparaging, and inflammatory.
And realize that that information matches what author Michael Wolff has already said here.
Donald Trump's biographer, Michael Wolff, has hinted that Melania Trump may have had deeper connections to Jeffrey Epstein than publicly known. In a podcast interview with the Daily Beast, Wolff claimed Melania was very involved in Epstein's social circles and even implied that her introduction to Donald Trump came through those ties.
And says the president's wife may have suffered, quote, overwhelming financial and reputational harm.
Oh, and there's more of that.
She was introduced by a model agent connected to both Trump and Epstein, Wolff said. Epstein knew her well.
And always, Trump does what he does, defending his wife by dismissing, denigrating, trying to create a distraction and deny this.
He regularly invents stories from his twisted imagination, driven by an extreme case of Trump derangement syndrome that's clearly affected his mental state.
Hunter Biden had a really simple response about, oh, you want to sue me for $1 billion? Here you go.
So now we're here to apologize to the First Lady for your statements that you made about her possible connection to Jeffrey Epstein.
That's not going to happen.
Instead, he doubled down on his remarks, contending that Melania Trump does not have a case against him.
If they want to sit down for a deposition and clarify the nature of the relationship between Jeffrey Epstein, if the president and the first lady want to do that, and all of the known associates around them at the time of whatever time that they met, I'm more than happy to provide them the platform to be able to do it.
And this breaking story is monstrous because, as we say, a picture is worth 1,000 words. And that model agent Michael Wolff discussed, oh yeah, the director of Melania's documentary, Brett Ratner, when you put two and two together, in this case, yep, you get 4. Check this breaking story out on Melania and her background with Epstein right here.
Director of Melania Trump film exposed in Epstein files drop report. Brett Ratner, the director of Melania, the new documentary about First Lady Melania Trump, was spotted in the Justice Department's Friday release of thousands of files on Jeffrey Epstein, Vanity Fair reported late Friday. Among the thousands of files released by the DOJ Friday, internet sleuths were quick to identify Ratner in an updated photograph with a shirtless man that appears to be Jean-Luc Brunel, a French model scout and owner of the international modeling agency MC2 Model Management, which has considerable financial backing from Epstein. Brunel died by apparent suicide in 2022 while awaiting trial on ex-trafficking charges, as did Epstein in 2019. Ratner made his directorial debut in the 1990s with the release of Money Talks, and went on to direct the popular Rush Hour films before being ousted from Hollywood in 2018 amid sexual misconduct allegations. While he moved to Israel in 2023, Ratner is now set to direct Rush Hour 4 after the project was greenlit by Paramount, and after President Donald Trump lobbied for the studio to take up Ratner's project. Ratner was also selected to direct Melania, set for release in select theaters on January 30th, 2026. The film was announced in January of 2025, an indication that Ratner was likely still held in high regard among the Trumps, further supported by Donald Trump's push for Paramount to fund Rush Hour 4 with Ratner at the helm. Warner Brothers cut ties with Ratner in 2018 and decided not to renew a $450 million financing deal after several women accused him of sexual misconduct, including one woman who alleged Ratner had forced her to perform oral sex.
Lucy, you got some splaining to do. Isn't that interesting? The guy that used to be in Hollywood's arms, Brett Ratner, is now kicked out because of his physical behavior, but yet he was the guy who was going to direct the documentary, seen in a photo with the agent that potentially is the guy who introduced Melania to begin with. Whoopsie poop. And now it's all come together in one. But the key to that is Melania is not going forward with the suit against Hunter Biden. And that might be a little telling to exactly what the actual truth here is. You know, they like to say, where there's smoke, there isn't necessarily fire, but I'd say they're getting closer to a smoking gun. You guys stay frosty. Like and share the video. Have a good weekend.